Oh, man, I've got a great story for you. So, I don't think I've told you this as well. I think I've mentioned it in passing, right? Me throwing a chair at a teacher. Do you rest your leg on your... Rest your foot on your leg like that all the time?
Yeah.
Why do we do opposites? Does it think that's a left-handed thing?
It might be, yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? Just noticed it and I was like,
It's a bit, I've never noticed it. And I edit all the episodes, and we're constantly sat like this.
Weird, isn't it? I do sometimes swap.
I think we sit the same way more often.
That one definitely, my hip starts to hurt because you see how my knee's a lot higher.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, my knee goes like dead low. I like that. It's more comfortable. When you were younger, was this like a male masculine thing? Did you ever identify that?
No.
That was something I noticed.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. I'm not saying it's like a genuine thing. I'm just saying it's
Oh, right. I thought it was like a mansplaining, man-spreading.
No, it was like when I was a kid.
Man-crossed.
Boys did this and girls did that.
Is that not a skirt issue? Or a dress issue?
I don't know. No, because the tomboys would also do this. Tomboys. Remember tomboys?
Yeah, in trousers.
Do tomboys still exist?
No.
Oh.
No, they've been properly identified now.
Oh, yeah.
Gone are the days. I think people would still say they were a tomboy. I think there's definitely girls that would say they were a tomboy before saying they were anything else.
Yeah, but now it's...
But yeah, I think a lot of the people got sucked into being identified.
I dated a tomboy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any more to that, or?
Oh, no. Don't know how much I can say on camera. I was talking to Rasheen about it last night, weirdly. It was my first ever girlfriend.
Yeah?
She was a psycho. She was a fucking lunatic.
How old were you?
12.
She's a fucking psycho.
She was.
A lunatic.
She was.
How old was she? 45?
Yeah, she was, yeah. That's why I can't say it on camera.
It was my mum's best friend.
No, honestly, she was mental.
But also 12. Mm-hmm. How mental can a 12-year-old be?
She used to, like, pin me down, like... like, beat me up and shit.
I hope this isn't you opening up to me.
It's not. I've dealt with it.
She was 12 as well, though, yeah?
Yeah. She didn't used to pin me, like... Obviously, I could overpower her. But I'm a nice guy.
Oh, right. I thought you were literally just getting beat up by this girl. And...
No, she would, like... We'd play a fight, you know, fucking...
Yeah.
When you're flirting, you play a fight when you're a child.
Yeah.
Why don't people play a fight anymore?
Because we're growing up.
Yeah, that's probably it. It's problematic, isn't it? That's why.
It can escalate.
Yeah.
That's why.
If I decided to play a fight with
I play fight with Debs, though.
Really?
Yeah, usually when she's trying to go to sleep.
Sounds weird.
Yeah. I walk into the bedroom and I go, I'm going to knock your fucking head off your shoulders. And she laughs and we know it's game on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
John Cena!
I mean, I am 19 stone and 6'2".
Yeah.
And I don't know how much she weighs, but it's definitely a lot less than 19.
What, one of your legs?
Yeah, about the same as one of my legs and roughly the same height. So it's a pretty one-sided fight.
Okay.
Because she's squirrely as fuck. She just gets everywhere.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see.
But she won't choke me out.
Oh.
I keep asking her. Not for any sexual reason.
Like the opposite of tapping?
Yeah.
Go on, do it!
Yeah.
Do it!
Well, that's how I have to say to her, you start choking me out, and she'll go, are you going to tap, though? And I'll go, yeah, I'll definitely tap. And then I don't. I just stay still to see if I can get myself knocked out. And yeah, as soon as like she feels me like not resisting, she just lets go of me. But one day, I want her to do it to me while I'm stood up as well, so I just drop like a sack of shit to the floor.
That sounds very dangerous. I can see why she doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, it's nice that she's that nice. That she's not willing to help me lose brain function.
Yeah.
She can probably see the damage is already done, and we don't really need to pull at that thread much more. So is this why you started sitting like this then, to try and regain some of your masculinity?
Maybe. Maybe subconscious. No, I did this before that.
You go sit down like in the cafeteria, put your leg like this, and all your mates are like, Daryl's getting beat up.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. I'm a man. Part of it, I think, is to air out your testes.
I don't know, it's just comfortable, isn't it?
But it's always comfortable. Anything not with your legs together is comfortable. This is no good for me.
My legs are pretty together right now. Though.
And also, I look like a pervert.
Oh, God.
I also look a little bit like an old lady on a bus, don't I?
Yeah, you do. I think it's the slight slope as well.
Yeah.
If you're up dead straight, you'd look like
It'd be weirder. I don't know why I'm putting my hands here, but it does add to it.
It does add to it. You now look like a teacher.
Who's in trouble with an even older teacher? A teacher's teacher.
No, you look like a teacher who's just going to scream at the class any second now. She's going through a divorce.
Simon, why are you doing that? You know he left me!
Sorry, miss.
Why did I ever get married? Just every so often she just does those little exclamations.
I came to school because I couldn't have kids. I just wanted to experience it and have fun.
And now they're calling me a pedo. I love him. Just like drops a whiteboard marker. Just, I can't believe he cheated on me. As she picks it up. You're all right, miss. I'm fine. She'll be a substitute as well. She just needs the money to pay for the divorce. Fine, I'll take it.
We made a substitute cry once.
I can see that brings you great pride.
Kind of.
How?
It's just nice breaking a teacher, isn't it?
I think at that age it's nice breaking a teacher. I hope you still don't think it's nice.
Obviously, as an adult, I'm like, yeah, that wasn't one of my finest moments, but I still find it funny. Just because it was so funny then.
Yeah.
You know, if I was confronted with the actual, I can't remember her name now, Miss, begin with a T, Miss Summit.
Tears.
Miss T. Like Mr. T.
It's Mrs. T. Do your work, fool!
Sorry, Mrs. T. No, she was kind of the opposite of that.
Pity the fool don't do his spellings.
What did we do to her?
Oh, no.
I can't remember what we did. It was me and like two other boys. We were just fucking about the whole lesson. I can't remember that one that well. The one I can remember really well.
Oh, so there's more than one.
That was the one we made cry.
Okay.
But there was one. It was our maths teacher who, she was easy. Do you know what I mean? As in, like, she would just let the lesson be derailed. If that makes sense.
She'd let it.
I know that sounds like I'm totally blaming her, but like, she just didn't have like we would all. Everyone was down for it as well. Even the fucking little nerdy shy kids. Everyone just knew like if we were going to miss whatever her name was, like you were just in for an easy time because she would just let people do what they wanted. And this involved anything. Like, she would send people out of the room, but that'd be the max. But anyway, she spoke quite quietly, just in general. Like, nothing wrong with her, just quietly spoken.
Yeah.
And I sat at the back of the class with a couple of the guys, and we just started this thing where she would talk, and we'd go, "Miss, we can't hear you." And then she'd be like, "Oh, sorry, I'll speak up. And we're like, "Miss, we still can't hear you. Sorry to interrupt the rest of everyone. We still can't hear you, miss." And we just do this over and over. And like she would just keep speaking up. And eventually we just go like, "Oh yeah, that's all right, miss. We can kind of hear you now." And she'd be like, "Okay."
She's screaming. 8 + 8 is 16! Yeah, we can get it a little bit. Like, it's enough.
You're not ready for this. Next lesson, she had a headset.
Britney Spears style.
Yep, she had a headset and speakers.
Man.
And then we were like, "Oh fuck, that's because of us. We did that." And then we did. Obviously, we could hear her perfectly. We were like, "Okay."
They're shy, timid, probably lacking in confidence, beat down on life, young victim.
Yeah.
Now wears a headset.
We broke her. And she now wears it. She probably still wears that headset teaching.
To family gatherings and that as well.
Oh, no. Don't say that.
I'm so sorry to hear about the passing of your father.
Yeah, that wasn't a very nice moment for me. It was quite mean. I apologise to Miss fucking whatever her name is.
Memorable as well. That's
our lessons weren't. That's why I didn't do good in maths. You know what I mean?
that's what they sounded like.
Yeah.
Until the auto tune came. I don't think we made any teachers cry.
No.
It made teachers get really mad because there was an English teacher who would shout, "That's rude!" like that at you.
What?
So we would try and get him to say it because he would get really mad if people weren't like polite, and he would love to shout, "That's rude" at people.
But like that.
Yeah,
Do it again.
Yeah, "That's rude."
Where's he from?
I don't know.
Like Barnsley?
I think a child's book.
Was he a dragon?
He sounds, "Who's that trip trapping over my bridge? That's rude. Get off my bridge." His name was Mr. Ogre. And it's trolls that live under bridges, isn't it?
Yeah, trolls.
Yeah, that's because Ogre's really close to his actual name.
What was his name?
Which is for anyone that watches this that went to school with me, will be like, "Yeah, it is quite close." Can I say his name?
You can bleep it.
Yeah, it's Mr.
If you care.
Well, I don't care. I don't think he's probably dead. So,
Yeah, how old was he at the time?
well, I don't know, 50 maybe.
He could be dead.
He could be.
I mean, people die at 50.
R.I.P. Mr.
Yeah.
If he's sat at home, he's watching this, sees me say that, and he just goes, "That's rude!" at the TV.
We had a guy, I think it was Mr. I think that was his name. He's got to be dead now. He's dead or he's in a home because he was old as fuck. Like he was one of those teachers that was way past retirement. Do you know what I mean? At the time.
Just there for the love of the game.
Yeah. He must have been late 50s, early 60s. And he used to scream at kids. Like, just berate them. To the point that the other teachers would be like, "Oh God, there he goes again." Like, if we were in, we had blocks at school, so if we were in the same block as Mr. I think it was I was going to say if we were in the same block as him, and, we were having a lesson, and you just hear, "You disturbed my lesson, and now you must stand outside." And, the other teachers would then go, "Oh, we'll just stop for Mr. Right, one sec." And he wouldn't, it wasn't just that. He would go and go, "You're an idiot! You're and you just do this all the time. This is why you're never going to do anything, and you're just useless. You just stand down here." And he would just go and go and go and go. And the teacher some teacher would literally, if you were too close to his classroom, you would have to stop. Because if our teacher was going, "So, on the board, oh, never mind, fucking hell." And they would be like, "Right, everyone, just wait a minute. Okay, yep, still going. And, okay." And he's done. Right. And sometimes he would start again. "And one more thing." Honestly, it was mental. And, as a child, you'd be like, "Fuck." As an adult, I'm like, what the fuck was wrong with him?
I used to love getting sent out of class. It might have been one of the most fun things to happen at school. You get to stand at the window and do little mimes and that.
I did relish in it as a younger. I was like, "Oh God."
Yeah.
I was fearful. of everything, report, detention.
Yeah, the
This is
first
scary.
year in secondary school.
Yeah, I
was
remember.
oh my God.
I remember when I first got detention. I had to go home and tell my mum that I've got detention. And I was so scared, and I remember she was just like, "What for?" I was like, I can't remember what it was. I think I forgot something. I forgot my book, and my teacher shouted at me, and then I got grumpy, and she gave me detention. And then mum was like, "You forgot a book," and I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Okay." It's not the end of the world, and I was like, "Okay, I thought you'd be really mad." She's like, "I don't care." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I remember it very vividly, just the weight being like, "Oh, mum didn't give a shit." And then once my mum didn't give a shit, I was like, "All right, fair enough." I didn't give it. I didn't actually care about detention.
Yeah.
I cared about my mum being mad at me. It was the same for everything else. I cared about my mum and dad being angry at me for detention or report or whatever else, or the reason I was on it. Oh man, I've got a great story for you. So, I don't think I told you this as well. I think I've mentioned it in passing, right? Me throwing a chair at a teacher. Have I mentioned this at all?
I think this is I've heard about a chair being thrown.
Have I done it on the
I didn't
podcast?
know it was you that threw it.
So I definitely haven't done this before on the podcast.
I don't think so.
I haven't
no.
told you it.
I don't think I'm even aware of this. No.
Fuck it, we'll do it again. If not, whatever. So my friend Jack, shout out Jack, cunt. I don't actually like Jack, but he was a fucking cunt in school. We were in maths, IT maths though, so we're in computers. And he was just doing this, just on my back, just poking me
Yeah.
like that. And like I was just going like, stop it, and then he'd like stop and then just go. And he was just doing his work, just doing that, just being a dick. And I was like, fucking stop it. And you just keep doing it. And then he started like amping it up and being like that. And then I was like, and then I lost my temper and went, Jack, can you just fucking stop it now? And then my teacher then came over and was like, right, Daryl, get out, because I swore. And I was like, fucking what? And I was like, he's just been fucking hitting me for the last 10 minutes and you ain't noticed. And this was like year 11, so I was like fully just like pulling her up on her shit. I was like, you're a fucking adult. You should notice when a kid is hitting another kid. And she was like, I don't care. I didn't see any of that. You just swore. Get out. And I was like, fuck this shit. So I stood up, and as I stood up, I pulled my chair. It was a stool. I went like, fuck you. And like, threw it in her direction. It didn't. I think it brushed her arm, but she was Deb's size, and I was in year 11. I was like 6 foot.
So the stool's flying out, and she's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
as it flies from above.
She was like, "Fuck!" And then I remember I got sent out, and I waited downstairs. I remember very vividly. I remember the second I left that room, because I was honestly in a fit of rage because I was pissed off. And then the second I left that room, I was like, "Oh fuck! I just threw a chair at a teacher. Jesus Christ." That's not good. That's really not good. And I totally just like came down.
Yeah.
Like my mood had just completely leveled, and then I was like, fuck, that's not good. Like I instantly panicked. And I remember very vividly, she came out, like, cause we had to walk, IT was upstairs. So I was down at the bottom of the stairs, like calming down. And I remember she came down to like the little landing and just poked around and was like, you all right, Daryl? And I was just like, yeah, I've calmed down now. Sorry about that. And she's like, okay, I'm going to inform you head of year. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. I wanted to be like, don't do that. But then I was like, you're going to do that anyway, aren't you? Fuck.
My mum's going to find out.
So then my head of year got informed. And then my head of year came down straight away, like within seconds, and was like, you threw a chair at a teacher? And I was like, well, in her direction.
Knocked it over in her direction.
And she was like, she said it hit her arm. And I was like, did it? I was leaving the room at the time. I couldn't really see. And then she was like, we're going to have to get your parents in and talk about this because this is like quite serious. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, okay. And then she was like, I'll ring them. We'll schedule it for tomorrow morning. You know, you can go home and tell them yourself what happened. And then we'll come in and talk as a group what's going to happen. And so then I go home. I tell my parents shit. They're like, why are we coming into school tomorrow? And I'm like, oh, I lost my shit in a lesson and just like stormed out. A bit angry, you know what I mean? I think I told her to fuck off. And they were like, oh, Daryl, what you like? And I was like, yeah, I know. That was it.
As long as you didn't throw a chair, we're still very proud of you.
The next day, I come in with my parents, we sit down, and then I think the thing my head of year started with was, so she's not pressing charges.
Oh my god.
My parents were like, what for? And they were like, she was like, the chair that hit her, like Daryl threw a chair at her. And then I remember my mum just turning that slow head, just like, he did what? And I was like, yeah, I might throw a chair.
It's just like all shoulders and the ground just, oh no, mommy.
I'm in trouble. And then, I was just, I remember very, very vividly my mum and dad just be like, he did not tell us he threw a chair. And then my head of year was like, oh, did he not? So I'll take you through exactly what happened. And then she told them everything. And my parents were like, okay. And then the best bit was that because my head of year just fucking loved me, like, I'm so proud of that. I think she did she just really liked me. Like as a kid. I don't think she wanted to fuck me. But, I hope not. She had a chance. But
but your 12-year-old girlfriend was a psycho, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She had just stabbed her up.
That's spoken for. But yeah. What was I saying?
You were saying how your teacher wanted to have sex.
Yeah, she just fucking loved. So I remember after all, I threw a chair at a teacher, right? Told the teacher to fuck off. Fully disturbed the lesson, and all I got was a week report. Was it?
That's not bad, is it? I spent most of my weeks on report.
That was a good deal, in my opinion. Good fucking deal.
Yeah, I'd throw a chair again for that.
Yeah, 1 week.
It is kids like you, though, that is the reason that teachers need guns.
No, it's not.
To defend themselves.
It's not.
You threw a chair at a probably disabled woman.
She was not disabled.
Vulnerable, crying
She wasn't
woman.
vulnerable.
She had a headset on.
She didn't cry. That was a different maths teacher. This is a different maths teacher.
Yeah, what the fuck is maths IT, by the way, or IT maths?
I honestly can't remember. I obviously wasn't paying much attention. I spent most of the lesson outside.
Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who are going to be in the same boat as me who are like, what? Why is that separated?
I honestly don't know.
Did you just have, sometimes you had a maths lesson that was in an IT room for some reason?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think it was specifically
IT maths.
It wasn't code or anything like that. Because kids nowadays get taught code and stuff. Like,
do they?
As a fun little thing. And you would need a keyboard for that, obviously. Like,
yeah.
But it wasn't that. It was... I honestly can't remember what it was. That's how good the school system is. I can't remember most of the lessons. I just remember abusing the teachers.
I can understand why I took for a chair now. About what the fuck is IT maths? Chair.
Do you want to know the most trouble I ever got in as well?
What?
In the whole of school, from primary all the way through to fucking the end, the most trouble I ever got in was for recording a fight.
Yeah, that's not bad, is it? I mean, it's quite bad, but...
No, nowadays... but I'm saying I threw a chair at a teacher and I got a week report. I recorded a fight and I got 2-week report, week isolation, and 5 hours detention.
Forgotten about isolation. That is crazy, though.
Yeah. For
being a witness.
Filming a fight, yeah.
You know, nowadays, it would be weird if you weren't filming it.
I did also, like, send it around the school. But that was just what happened. You just Bluetooth shit, didn't you? Like, that was how it is.
Infrared, keeping them paired up on the sides. Yeah.
The only reason I got absolutely bollocked for that, because honestly, I think if I'd got caught and nobody gave a shit, I think the teachers would have just been like, Daryl, like, don't do that. Week report. Like, it would have been that. The reason I got bollocked is because one of the kids in the fight, his parents found out, and then they wanted to, like, press charges, because I was like, fucking defamation of character and all this shit, like, because I was sending their child fighting.
What, about a 12-year-old?
What's that?
How old was this kid?
He's my age. So, this was in the final year.
My age isn't helping.
This was, like, literally a month before my GCSEs.
Oh, right, so like 15, 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 16, so he was about 15, 16.
Parents are like defamation of character. 15, 16-year-olds, they're all assholes.
Yeah. No, I'd seen this kid, like, fucking do horrific shit. But then they were obviously like, he's recorded our son, you know, acting inappropriately, but then he's sending it round, and that's going to stick with him forever, and all this kind of shit.
Yeah, and so luckily, they weren't right, were they? When 10 years later, 15 years later, it's still being dragged up and put online.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Do you know the worst bit? I literally can't remember who was fighting. They weren't my friends. They were just like some kids in my year. I honestly can't remember the names. I remember the faces, but I can't remember the names in the slightest.
All bloody, beat up, cut.
Yeah. One of them had a knife.
Why am I getting in trouble for recording a video? It's not the video, it's the audio we have an issue with. Get him! Fucking stab him in the knees!
It's the fact he threw a knife in the middle of the fight.
Onto the ground.
And Jonathan now has stab wounds.
It was Prison Break era, and we noticed that you threw a chicken foot onto the ground, which is a declaration of a fight, we think. I completely forgot about isolation. I spent weeks in isolation.
That was the only time I got isolation, ever. No, sorry. I got isolation. I've definitely told this on the podcast before, but I got isolation when I got my piercings.
Yeah.
And then my mum had to come in and tell my it wasn't my head of year. Who's your tutor? Yeah, your tutor. She had to tell my tutor to, like, shut the fuck up. And then my tutor was like, oh, okay, we ain't gonna get anywhere with this then. So I was only in isolation for like a couple of days then, just because I was being stubborn. Like,
yeah.
I think she was waiting for me to break, but I loved isolation.
I think I spent at least a whole term in there, as in a straight run.
Straight run?
Yeah. Me and a handful of people, there's like 10 of us in it. Which is a weird kind of isolation, isn't it, when you're with 9 of your friends?
Mates, yeah.
It was literally like some of my best friends were like just sat next to me and around me. No, this is perfect. We don't even get to share that many lessons together, and now we get to share the entire day together.
Yeah. So
we're just getting really, really stoned and then going to isolation. And just sitting there all just looking at each other, just with our eyes just slowly drooping and then giggling like idiots. The most fun bit was just throwing bits of rubber at each other because it was dead silent. We're all facing the same direction. So you could throw rubber. If you were sat at the back, that's where you wanted to be. Sat at the front, you'd miss out on everything. But if you're at the back, you get to see everything unfold and just throw bits of rubber at them and that. Man, I love that kind of naughtiness.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. You don't get to do that much as an adult. It's like when you said about, like, why aren't we play fighting and stuff anymore? We kind of lose that. I think it's more that, like, society isn't ready to see two 30-year-old men play fighting.
Yeah, I think that's it.
It's the same as the screaming thing from before. I think it's just the societal norms won't allow for it.
Yeah, I think if I saw two grown men play fighting, I would think they're actually fighting.
Unless they looked skillful at it, and then you'd be like, oh, they probably know jiu-jitsu, they're having a little roll or something.
Not in the street, though.
But yeah, don't do it in the street.
What are you on about?
Like in a park.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, if they're in a park, that's...
Yeah, I wasn't thinking right in the road.
That's what I thought. Like on the path or something.
Oh, if I was going to play fight, I would probably pick a safer area
Oh, okay.
to have combat.
Right.
Like a park, soft grass. That's good.
Grass isn't that soft, but yeah.
It's softer than tarmac in cars.
Yeah, well, it's softer than that. Most things are softer than cars.
I never got anything, never put in isolation or detention for anything like that bad.
Like,
I was just disruptive,
yeah.
which is no real surprise, is it? I was always just trying to make jokes all the time and make everyone on my table laugh all the time. And then they would get really frustrated because they would then go, Kieran, you weren't listening. I'm going to stand up, and then they'd give me a question, and I'd be able to answer it. And then that would really piss them off because then they knew I was listening and disrupting.
Yeah.
I was listening and stopping other listening.
I didn't get in much trouble. Like I said, I was pretty good for most of school.
Other than throwing a chair and telling teachers to fuck off, making them cry.
That was the one and only, though. One and only time I lost my shit.
Let them believe they have a real life affliction to their voice that needs addressing.
That was more the other kid. I'm not going to name him. That was more him.
Oh yeah, this one.
No, genuinely, it was more him.
It was him.
He started it. He did it, and then I was more just like joining in, going, "Yeah, miss," because I was sat next to him. Miss, we really can't hear you. Yeah. Just amping it. That's all I was doing. I was the hype man.
Which is often better. Yeah. But mostly disruption. And then one of my very best friends, closest friends, he did the same thing, just super disruptive. We didn't meet each other until year 8. And it was because someone told me, it was one of my already best friends said, I've met maybe the funniest guy in our year.
About you?
No.
Oh.
And I was furious. I was like, I need to meet this guy. Immediately my thoughts were, I don't like this guy. Straight away.
He's too funny.
Yeah, apparently he's the funniest guy. Is he like a little jealous boyfriend? Oh, he's the funniest guy at work. Is he? Oh, you want to suck his dick, deal? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure this guy's probably a prick. Let's go find out. And just immediately connected, just like making each other laugh hard. And that is a friendship that's lasted to this day.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we talk all the time.
What's his name?
James.
You've never mentioned him.
It's a private best friend situation.
You've genuinely never mentioned James.
Not on here, no.
Or to me.
I've definitely brought it. To be fair, I'm pretty vague with it. I always just bring up, one of my close friends, one of my best friends.
One of your close friends, is he?
No, that's how I
you like James, do you?
categorise them to you so that you know where the pegging order is.
Is.
Yeah.
So where am I on that?
My acquaintance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
My colleague, co-worker, boss.
So if you had to kill me or James, who'd you pick?
You.
Great.
And then James. And then I'd sort of mount you together so it looks like a weird sexual suicide.
Make a Frankenstein out of both of us.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've genuinely never mentioned James. You probably told me like 1,000 stories about him, and you probably said, so I was with James once. You probably said his name 1,000 times. I just don't focus.
Yeah, I'm not very good at like mentioning the person because if you're not going to bump into him, I don't really see the point in you knowing their name.
I might bump into him.
You might do, but I'll give you his name then. I don't really see the point in doing it before.
Yeah, well, because then I've got context. It's like when remember when I used to.
There's 10 of them.
There's 10 of them
in the group chat. There's 10 of us,
and you're still friends with all of them.
Yeah,
like close friends.
Yeah.
With all of them.
All of them.
That's mental.
But this is why I get to go on stag do's and stuff.
You have 10 friends.
I have well more than that.
Well, I know you have more than 10 friends.
I have my mum and dad as well. Not so much my mum as well. And I've got 2 brothers, my best friends. And lots of them. Just other friends. Grandma.
10 friends is insane.
That's just the group that we all hung out every day in secondary school. And then WhatsApp kind of meant that we've stayed talking and going out and doing stuff forever. That group chat is probably the reason that we haven't all drifted apart.
Yeah.
And it's always active as well. There's always stuff going off.
I have Tom.
That's nice.
That's about it.
From what I've found out about Tom so far, he seems like he's going to be good fun.
He's great fun.
mean, he's maybe not as fun as James, but he's probably up there, like your equivalent of James. Maybe
Tom's more fun. I don't know how much I can. Instantly, I was trying to think of like the most horrific thing that Tom's ever done, and be like, "Well, Tom did this once." But I was like, he might not want me to say that on camera, and put it on the internet.
I've put loads of stories about James on here because he messages me to tell me. He goes, "That was me, wasn't it?" And I'm like,
"Oh,
yep."
There's probably multiple stories about Tom on here, but I haven't named him. Whereas now I've started with his name, so if I tell a random story in 2 minutes, it's going to be Tom. So this one time I had this friend, and he did this.
He killed 2 sex workers. Yeah, sorry to break your heart. Did you think I just went home and then just didn't talk to anyone else and then?
No, I was being silly jealous. but I am genuinely shocked that you've got 10. That you still talk to 10 friends you had in school. I think that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I understand it's the group. I understand the group chat thing and how that. Like I've got a group chat with Tom, and that keeps obviously me and him.
Group chat with one person's not.
No, it's me, Tom, Machine, and Grace.
Oh right,
his wife.
okay.
So it's. So
it's your chat, but with girlfriends / wives.
Exactly, yeah. But that keeps us all kind of very connected. Whereas, sometimes I don't know if you do know this, but like when you go hang out with a friend and their partner,
yeah,
and then obviously you and the friend are talking, and there's a lot of inside jokes and stuff. But then the partners are kind of like just making niceties.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I have that routine all the time, like where I'm like, oh, we're going out for food with so and so tonight, and it's like my friend, and it's like, so you're probably going to end up talking to so and so a bit,
yeah,
and she'll be like, okay, and just kind of be like, so what do you do, and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like just that. And then she has to witness me like laughing my head off at like things she has no idea about.
Yeah. French fries with dip.
Isn't this hilarious?
Don't we all remember that here at this table equally?
Whereas because we have this group chat,
you got reference points.
Everyone's involved, and like everything that happens. Like me and Tom talk privately. I would say once every other month, maybe once a month max. Like, sorry, one sec. Oh, I threw up a bit there. Yummy. Sour.
Nice.
Anyway. So yeah, me and Tom talk privately like once a month, once every other month max. And then it's like everything else is just in the group chat. So anything that anyone has to say just goes in the group chat, and we just talk in the group chat as a 4. So it's
a good way of doing it. I don't think that works with every like couple though.
Well, no. Because
I don't think every group that's going to work for everyone.
Oh, it wouldn't work for most of my friends.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would work well.
I'd enjoy that.
I think it would what?
If I was put into one, I wouldn't enjoy it.
I was just about to say, I think it would work well with you and Debs.
Oh, right.
It wouldn't, because you don't check your fucking phone. So.
Yeah. Me, James, and Debs, and his girlfriend would probably be good.
It would be me, Debs, and Machine talking.
And
then you would just zone in and go, there's 150 messages. Is there anything important? No, okay.
I'll just like the last message just to show I've been there.
Yeah. But I have loads of friends whose like partners I fucking hate. So those ones wouldn't work.
You should put more effort into them to see if a little flower would blossom from the mud of the relationship.
I have with most of the ones. Some I just know point blank, like, we are never, ever gonna... Like, you know when you just know someone's not your cup of tea?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I've been scorned too many times that I just know.
That 12-year-old girl has left you battered and bruised, didn't she? Physically,
she did.
Mentally and emotionally.
Yeah, she did.
But now you struggle to trust.
Got witnesses, though. Got witnesses. I just wanted to know that.
If she ever becomes famous, she's getting cancelled.
She won't get famous. Not with the name.
What if she gets famous as a professional 12-year-old holder downer? How sad would that be? Fuck that bitch. Why is she famous? And this is how you pin down a 12-year-old. Watch how he wets his pants and then sits with one leg across the other knee to try and make up for his loss of masculinity.
Right, don't make me feel weird about it. I'll switch legs now.
I can't do that. My leg doesn't go that far.
What?
You know the classic fold of a leg? Yeah, I can't get that low on it.
I remember when I was...
And it's not comfortable for me.
I remember in church there was a guy that used to sit like this.
Yeah, and they look comfortable like it.
And all the time I'd just be like, how the fuck is he doing that?
It also looks ridiculous.
Oh, man, it just hurts.
It looks like one of those shitty shelf models with the string legs that you hang over.
Like, it hurts. My calf is hurting right now because my knee's just digging into it.
This is interviewer, like, therapist pose.
That's a bit better.
Yeah, but you're just... That's diet this, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to raise it up a bit.
Yeah, it's
I've got
like
a gap.
cross-legged light, that. That's
If there's a gap you can fist, it's not good enough, is it?
That's what I always say.
Yeah. If there's a gap you can fist, it's not good enough.
I've got that on my business cards.
Have you?
Yeah. That I also don't have.
So you don't want to start a group chat with me and Machine?
You can do, yeah? You've seen how well I respond to your messages personally.
Yeah, you are terrible.
Yeah, I'm glad that this is getting out there. Like, a few people now have come to me and gone, you're so bad with your messages. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's like that with everyone.
Yeah.
Including his boss.
His boss / work associate.
/ not friend at all. Because he's not James.
And he never will be. Kermit the Frog sip.
What? Oh. It took me a second. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm just going to start doing that. I'm just going to start saying mean
Kermit the
things.
Frog sip.
Yeah. Like, if something goes slightly wrong, I'll go, dog on a chair in a house that's on fire.
Everything's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah. That one's a bit long, though. Kermit the Frog sips just kind of rolls off the tongue.
It's quite a good idea, actually. You could probably just put things into someone's head doing that. My issue is I don't know a lot of memes, so I'm pretty much out now.
I'm out as well. Like, I've been sat thinking really hard about other memes, and I'm like, oh, fuck, what is that?
The one with the... It's probably not... Yeah. You know that one?
Doge? There's Doge. Remember Doge?
Yeah.
That was big at a time.
Yeah. In like 2006 or something.
Yeah.
Which was like last...
I often think about all the meme tattoos that are walking around.
Yeah, there's loads of them. Like, someone's got that $1,500 fox one, haven't they?
Yeah?
Which I know is not a meme, but...
It's not even a meme, is it? That's
but
just like...
it's a meme of it's a time.
Yeah.
The time is already gone. No one's even talking about it except us.
Do you remember there was a bunch of them, the Bernie Sanders, with his gloves?
Yeah. Yeah, there's loads of those,
There's like a bunch.
And plenty
3,
of people
4.
have still got those. And unless you brought that up to me then, I wouldn't have remembered that.
Yeah.
Like, if you'd said Bernie Sanders, I wouldn't even think this straight away.
You know what I saw the other day? It was well, not a meme. I don't know what it was. Just a fucking thing. But someone shared it, and I was like, oh. And it was just said, like, this was a great time to be alive. And it was just a photo of someone falling from the top of the crate challenge. Remember the crate challenge?
Yeah.
That was. And I just thought, like, that really was a great time.
That was a good
Like,
moment.
seeing them every day was great.
And some of them were horrendous as well.
So bad.
And yet you still wanted to give it a go. I was watching it thinking, I definitely want to give that a go.
I do not want to give it a go.
Oh, I wanted to start running straight away. I don't even know where you're
Running?
getting it. Yeah, I'd run it.
Nah.
Yeah, you got to go light foot on it.
Nah. It hurts so bad falling on
Some of them
crates.
falls are horrific.
Yeah. Especially from the top.
Yeah.
And because
It's the sideways one.
It's that's,
and
I
then
was about to say,
landing on
that's
a
the
pile of
worst,
them.
is that it automatically just kind of kicks you onto your side.
Yeah.
It just straight away just tease you.
Yeah. And you're going to land on piles of hard plastic rectangles. Yeah, brutal. I liked it when people fell on the first one. The one that like is the
Impossible.
most solid of all of them. People did it. People put their foot badly on that first one, go to step on the second one, and then just fall straight away.
What the fuck?
They spent less time running up them than it took to set them up in the first place.
I only ever saw one person do it.
I think I saw someone do it. It's probably the same one.
Might be.
I don't think there were many kicking about.
He was going well slow.
Oh no, this guy was going fast.
I was just running it.
Yeah.
No, this guy was like just walking. He walked up the
You are
top
right, actually.
really.
Slow's better because the stability's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you can
obviously.
you can put 2 feet up, make sure it's stable, and do that. But it's not going to get views, is it? It's fucking boring. You want to see someone get fucked.
Yeah, but I don't think you want to be the person getting fucked.
I reckon loads of people made it and we just didn't see them because no one's going to give a shit about sharing that. You want to see someone like leave disabled. Like their spine is snapped. It's over.
Yeah.
And then the next video they post is them like wheeling into the first one.
I'm here to try again.
handy capable. Bang.
Fuck's sake. Yeah, that was a great time though.
Yeah.
That was a good internet.
We need some more times like that. There's like the ice bucket challenge was quite. That's like a.
What happened to challenges? Is there any challenges now?
Not at the moment. I don't think that has been for a few years.
It hasn't, has there?
There's the ice bucket challenge. What other challenges are? Oh yeah, there has been. There's the tortilla game. That's kind of one.
It's not a challenge though, is it?
Cinnamon
Is it
challenge.
Cinnamon challenge is the OG, isn't it?
Is that the first one?
I think it was.
What are the other ones other than ice bucket?
Ice bucket, cinnamon, crate. We mentioned that.
All the ones we've said so far, we have mentioned. So they're
I mean, there was the fucking Tide Pod challenge.
Tide Pod.
Yeah, is it Tide Pod? The one where all the kids were eating fucking washing tablets. Have you not seen that?
No.
Let me check I'm getting this right.
They were eating washing tablets.
Yeah.
The things that were in a box saying not for human consumption.
Yeah.
And they thought, yeah, that's probably good stuff, that.
It was only in America.
The hard part with those washing tablets,
Yeah, Tide Pod.
they look delicious. Whenever I go to put one in the washing machine, I think that's got a lovely texture and it looks like it would be nice
Tide
to
Pod
eat.
challenge.
Tide Pod.
Tide Pod.
Is that like a brand of...
In America, yeah.
Yeah, other washing tablets are available. And that one's not available here.
Oh, and then the bath salt challenge after that.
What's the baths? Snorting it? What are they doing now? What are these crazy kids doing?
Bath salt challenge. The viral online trend is the new ice bucket challenge. Teens are eating laundry detergent.
Is that what they've just got? They've put challenge at the end of that? Kids eating laundry detergent challenge.
I actually don't know what it is.
That is the
here's
dumbest
some.
shit.
There you go. Here's some photos of people eating them. Like, there's loads of
Why?
bath salt challenge. I think they are just eating bath salts, yeah.
Why though?
Because kids are mental.
They should do a challenge that I like to call pouring petrol on yourself and lighting a
I
cigarette.
remember this one as well, yeah, the condom snorting challenge.
What the fuck are people doing? Are they literally snorting a condom up?
It was,
Oh, to get it through?
yeah.
Yeah, still fuck that. You can't breathe through it.
No, obviously not, yeah.
So why would you do it with a piece of spaghetti or something? Something fun and playful, not fucking Johnny. That's outrageous.
It's good enough for Steve-O, it's good enough for me. Oh, no, not a used one. Someone probably did that. Yeah, there was
It definitely
loads.
happened. How many condoms got swallowed?
You
in that
clearly
time?
missed the dark side of challenges.
Yeah, I do.
That's kind of why they ended. I genuinely think a kid died.
Yeah, they will
doing the Tide Pod one. I think that's what got it so like big.
You do want to put them in your mouth, though.
They do look delicious.
They're like a giant tapioca ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the thing is that I don't want to put them in my mouth to taste them. I want to put them in my mouth to feel the pop.
Yeah.
Because obviously they dissolve. So you're like, I just want to put it in and be like, oh.
That's the best bit about boba tea, isn't it? It's not the flavour's good from the little balls,
Yeah.
but popping them is the best.
Yeah.
Get like if a slimy one comes up, that's not the same. Even if it has all the flavour.
See, I always get tapioca balls, which are different.
What one am I thinking? What's the boba balls then?
I can't remember the name of them. But like the fruity ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they pop and they got a little like syrup in them.
Yes.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
ones. They pop really nicely.
Yeah, they are good.
And the texture it feels in my mouth is the same as a washing tablet looks.
Yeah.
But the look and touch of it, I'm sure it would translate to in there. I've stopped swearing just to avoid putting it in my mouth.
What?
Because that's how you wash your mouth out with soap and it. Oh dear. Knee slap. And back again. Masculinity restored.
I can tell you're a dad.
Thanks. I think that's a compliment. Mate, actually not from you, it's not.
No, it's not. It's an insult. You fucking breeder.
I do like the term breeder. I'm proud, and I'm going to take that name and I'm going to reuse it and empower the people who are breeders to use it. It's been reappropriated. You can't say it anymore now. The B word is off the table for people
the
like
B
you.
word.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
fine.
all of its iterations as well. All the other versions.
No, that's not fair.
Yep.
I, was
all
like,
of them.
I just thought I'll just come up with another one.
But no, all the slurs are all gone.
All the slurs.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
This minority has had enough. Okay.
Minority.
With you,
There's not
people.
a minority. You're making more of you. How's that a minority? It's the opposite.
Yeah, but sometimes we make people when they defect, like you have.
I'm perfect, bitch.
Your parents are breeders. And their parents were breeders.
Yeah, they had 4 kids.
You come from a long line of breeders.
I do. But I'm stopping it here. There'll be no breeding from me. Not now, not never.
But your family are still breeding.
They are, yeah.
So your attempt has actually done very little to stop it. Right, I'm going to see if there's a safe way to eat washing tablets. Like it was a wine taster and sort of spit them back out, but just get that sensation.
Yeah.
Let's go do that.
I'm going to film it.
I'm going to snort the powder.
Bye.
Bye.